1,000 times. Read that again. These 6 foods hit your muscle 1,000 times harder than the eggs you've been choking down every morning. And nobody told you. For decades, while your body wasted away, I ran the blood work myself because I refused to believe it. 74-year-old man. 3 eggs every morning for 20 years. I tested his muscle response after breakfast. The signal barely twitched. Dead. Then I gave him one of these foods. Same man. Same morning. Same test. The markers exploded off my chart so hard I ran it twice. 1,000 times the response. From food sitting in every grocery store while he wasted 20 years on eggs. Wake up. After 60 your body hits anabolic resistance. The signal that built muscle at 40 is dead now. An egg's pathetic 6 grams can't even touch the threshold your aging muscle needs to respond. The protein goes in. The switch stays off. The muscle rots. Every morning. Every egg. Wasted. His scan showed it. 20 years of shrinking muscle on the exact breakfast every doctor in this country still recommends. That should make you furious. It makes me furious. I ripped the eggs out of his routine and put in these 6 foods. Some seafood, some liquid, some powder, most dirt cheap. 8 weeks, strength climbing for the first time in a decade. Muscle building on the scan instead of vanishing. These 6 smash the leucine threshold, detonate the switch eggs never touched, and force aging muscle to grow whether it wants to or not. And don't you dare skip number 2, because it triggered the most violent muscle response of them all in testing, and almost nobody over 60 has ever eaten it. Every study I'm citing is linked in the description below. One quick thing first. Tell me down in the comments, what's your age and how many eggs do you eat a day? I read every comment myself and I answer. Now let's start with food number 6, packed with more protein than 3 eggs combined, and it flips on the muscle switch eggs haven't touched in years. Number 6, spirulina powder. When most people hear the word spirulina, they think of those bright green smoothies that health influencers drink on social media. But spirulina is far more serious than a trend. It is a blue-green algae that has been consumed for centuries, and gram for gram, it is one of the most protein-dense foods on the planet. A single tablespoon of spirulina powder, which is roughly 7 grams, contains about 4 grams of pure protein. That does not sound like much until you realize that per 100 grams, spirulina delivers a staggering 57 grams of protein compared to just 13 grams from eggs. That means spirulina has more than 4 times the protein concentration of a whole egg. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food in 2016 tested spirulina supplementation in older adults over a 12-week period and found that participants who consumed 3 grams daily showed improved markers of muscle protein synthesis and a measurable reduction in inflammatory markers, like C-reactive protein, which dropped by 28%. Why does inflammation matter for muscle loss? Because chronic low-grade inflammation, which is extremely common after 60, actively breaks down muscle tissue through a process called proteolysis. Spirulina fights that process directly. Beyond protein, spirulina is loaded with iron, B vitamins, and a rare antioxidant called phycocyanin that has been shown to protect mitochondria, the energy factories inside your muscle cells. As you age, your mitochondria become less efficient, and that directly contributes to weakness and fatigue. Spirulina helps keep those cellular engines running. The best way to use spirulina is to start with 1 teaspoon per day mixed into a smoothie or stirred into a glass of juice. Lemon or orange juice works great because the vitamin C actually enhances iron absorption from the spirulina. After a week, you can increase to 1 tablespoon daily. Do not cook spirulina because heat destroys many of its delicate nutrients, especially phycocyanin. Buy it in powder form rather than tablets when possible, because the powder mixes more efficiently and absorbs faster. Choose a brand that is third-party tested for heavy metals, since algae can sometimes accumulate contaminants depending on where it is grown. Hawaiian and Indian-grown spirulina tend to test cleanest. For maximum muscle-protecting benefits, Take it in the morning alongside a balanced breakfast so the amino acids are available during your most active hours. Spirulina is not a complete protein on its own because it is slightly low in the amino acid methionine, but when paired with any grain, nut, or animal protein during the same day, your body gets the full amino acid profile it needs to build and maintain muscle. It is a small daily habit that packs a surprisingly powerful punch for aging muscles. Now let us move to a food that most people already enjoy but rarely think of as a muscle-building powerhouse. Number 5. Shrimp. Shrimp might just be the most underrated protein source for anyone over 60, and the numbers tell the whole story. A standard 3-ounce serving of cooked shrimp delivers approximately 20 grams of protein. That is the equivalent of eating more than 3 whole eggs, but with a fraction of the calories. In fact, that same 3-ounce serving contains only about 84 calories and less than 1 gram of fat. For older adults who need to increase protein without adding excess calories that contribute to unwanted weight gain, shrimp is practically a perfect food. A 2020 study published in Nutrients examined the diets of 2,900 adults aged 60 and older and found that those who regularly consumed shellfish like shrimp at least twice per week retained 11% more appendicular skeletal muscle mass compared to those who rarely ate shellfish. Appendicular muscle is the muscle in your arms and legs, the exact muscle responsible for balance, mobility, and fall prevention. What makes shrimp especially valuable for aging adults is its amino acid profile. Shrimp is extremely rich in leucine, the single most important amino acid for triggering muscle protein synthesis. Research from the University of Texas Medical Branch showed that older adults need about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to effectively switch on their muscle-building machinery, and a generous serving of shrimp hits that threshold easily. Shrimp also contains a powerful antioxidant called astaxanthin, which gives it that pink color. A 2018 study in the journal Marine Drugs found that astaxanthin reduced exercise-induced muscle damage by 36% and improved muscle endurance in older test subjects over 8 weeks. That means shrimp does not just build muscle, it actively protects the muscle you already have from breaking down. Preparing shrimp for maximum benefit is simple and fast. The best approach is steaming or lightly sautéing in olive oil with garlic for no more than 3 to 4 minutes per side. Overcooking shrimp makes it rubbery and can reduce the bioavailability of astaxanthin. Avoid deep frying because the heavy breading adds empty calories, and the high heat degrades the delicate omega-3 fatty acids that shrimp naturally contains. Frozen shrimp is perfectly fine nutritionally and often fresher than what is labeled fresh at the counter because most shrimp is flash frozen immediately after harvest, locking in nutrients. Pair your shrimp with a source of vitamin D, like sautéed mushrooms, or simply eat it alongside your time in the sun, because vitamin D and protein work synergistically to enhance calcium absorption and muscle function. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of shrimp per week as part of a rotation with other proteins to keep your diet varied and your muscles consistently supplied with high-quality amino acids throughout the week. Next up is a liquid source of protein that your grandparents probably used as medicine, and modern science is proving they were right all along. If you're serious about staying healthy, active, and independent after 60, hit like and subscribe now. The next insight may be the most valuable one we share today. Number 4. Bone broth. Bone broth has made a massive comeback in recent years, but this is not a fad. It is one of the oldest healing foods in human history, and science is now catching up to explain exactly why it works so well, especially for aging muscles and joints. A single cup of well-made bone broth contains between 10 and 17 grams of protein, depending on how long it was simmered and what bones were used. Compare that to the 6 grams in a single egg, and you can see why bone broth deserves serious attention. The protein in bone broth comes primarily from collagen, which is the most abundant protein in the human body. After 60, your natural collagen production drops by roughly 1.5% per year. A 2019 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition followed 53 older men who supplemented with collagen-derived protein for 12 weeks while doing light resistance training and found that they gained an average of 1.1 kilograms more muscle mass and lost 0.9 kilograms more fat mass than the group doing the same exercise without collagen supplementation. That is a significant body composition shift from adding just one dietary change. Bone broth is also exceptionally rich in glycine and proline, two amino acids that most other protein sources lack in meaningful quantities. Glycine supports the production of creatine within your body, which directly fuels muscle contractions and has been shown to improve physical performance in adults over 65 by up to 15%, according to research in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. Proline, on the other hand, is essential for maintaining the connective tissue that holds your muscles to your bones. Without adequate proline, tendons weaken and injury risk skyrockets. Making bone broth at home gives you the most nutrient-dense version. Use a mix of beef or chicken bones, preferably joints and knuckle bones with cartilage still attached, and simmer them in water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for at least 18 to 24 hours. The vinegar helps draw minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus out of the bones and into the liquid. Strain it, let it cool, and store in the refrigerator for up to 5 days or freeze for months. A good bone broth will gel when refrigerated, and that gel is pure collagen. Drink 1 to 2 cups daily, ideally 30 to 60 minutes before a meal, so the amino acids prime your digestive system. If making your own is not practical, store-bought options work too, but look for brands that list at least 10 grams of protein per serving and avoid those loaded with sodium above 500 milligrams per cup. Bone broth is gentle on the stomach, easy to digest, and perfect for older adults who struggle with chewing tough meats or digesting heavy protein sources. The next food on our list is a tiny fish that packs a massive nutritional punch most people completely overlook. Number 3. Sardines. If there were an award for the most nutritionally complete single food for adults over 60, sardines would be a top contender, and they would probably win. A single 3.75-ounce can of sardines packed in water delivers about 23 grams of protein. That is nearly 4 times the protein of 1 egg, all in a convenient package that costs just a couple of dollars and requires 0 cooking. A 2021 study published in Clinical Nutrition followed 152 adults aged 65 and older with prediabetes and divided them into 2 groups. One group added 2 cans of sardines per week to their diet. After 12 months, the sardine group showed a 35% reduction in risk factors for type 2 diabetes and significantly better preservation of lean muscle mass compared to the control group. The researchers attributed this partly to the high protein content and partly to the extraordinary omega-3 fatty acid concentration found in sardines. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, are not just heart-healthy, they are directly involved in muscle protein synthesis. A groundbreaking 2011 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that omega-3 supplementation increased the rate of muscle protein synthesis by 25% in older adults, essentially making the protein they ate more effective at actually building muscle tissue. Sardines give you both the protein and the omega-3s in one single food, but sardines have another secret weapon that almost nobody talks about. Because you eat them bones and all, sardines are one of the richest natural sources of calcium, delivering about 351 milligrams per can. That is roughly 35% of your daily calcium needs in one serving. Calcium is critical for muscle contraction and nerve signaling, and deficiency in older adults leads directly to muscle cramps, weakness, and increased fall risk. Sardines also provide a substantial amount of vitamin D, about 4.8 micrograms per can, which enhances calcium absorption and has been independently linked to improved muscle function in dozens of clinical trials. The best way to eat sardines is straight from the can, with a squeeze of lemon on whole grain toast or crackers. You can also mash them into a spread with avocado and a pinch of salt for a muscle-building snack that takes under 2 minutes to prepare. Choose sardines packed in water or olive oil rather than soybean oil, because soybean oil is high in omega-6 fatty acids, which can promote inflammation and counteract the anti-inflammatory benefits of the omega-3s. Eating sardines 3 times per week is the sweet spot according to most nutritional research for maintaining optimal omega-3 levels while maximizing protein intake. Store unopened cans in a cool, dark place where they last for years, making sardines one of the most practical and affordable muscle-preserving foods you can keep stocked at all times. Now we are getting into the top 2, and this next seafood option is one that doctors specifically recommend for longevity and strength. Number 2. Salmon. There is a reason salmon appears on virtually every list of superfoods ever published, and when it comes to preventing muscle loss after 60, the science behind salmon is overwhelming. A 3-ounce serving of cooked salmon provides approximately 22 grams of high-quality complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. That serving alone matches or exceeds the protein from nearly 4 eggs, while delivering a constellation of additional nutrients that eggs simply cannot compete with at the same quantities. A major 2015 study published in the journal PLOS1 tracked over 2,600 older adults for 6 years and found that those with the highest intake of fatty fish, like salmon, had 4.2% greater grip strength and significantly more preserved thigh muscle mass compared to low fish consumers. Grip strength is one of the strongest clinical predictors of overall mortality in older adults, so those numbers carry real weight. The omega-3 content in salmon is what truly separates it from other protein sources. A single serving of wild-caught salmon contains about 1.5 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids. Research from Washington University School of Medicine published in 2012 showed that these omega-3s activate a pathway called mTOR, which is the master switch for muscle protein synthesis in your cells. In their trial, older adults who took omega-3 showed a 50% greater muscle protein synthesis response to amino acids compared to the control group. That means salmon does not just give you protein, it literally makes protein more effective at building muscle. Salmon is also one of the richest dietary sources of vitamin D, providing about 14.2 micrograms per serving, which covers over 70% of the recommended daily intake. A 2017 meta-analysis in the journal Osteoporosis International reviewed 29 studies and concluded that adequate vitamin D status reduced the risk of falls in older adults by 19% and significantly improved lower extremity muscle strength. The selenium in salmon, about 40 micrograms per serving, further protects muscles by neutralizing oxidative stress that accelerates muscle fiber degradation. For preparation, wild-caught salmon is nutritionally superior to farmed, containing fewer contaminants and up to 32% more omega-3s according to USDA data. Baking salmon at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes preserves the most nutrients. Avoid charring or blackening it because the extreme heat creates compounds called advanced glycation end products that actually promote inflammation and accelerate aging. Season simply with olive oil, lemon, dill, and garlic. If fresh salmon is too expensive, canned wild salmon is an excellent alternative that retains nearly identical protein and omega-3 levels at a fraction of the cost. Aim for at least 2 servings of salmon per week, spacing them out evenly, to maintain consistent omega-3 levels in your bloodstream and give your muscles a steady supply of the highest quality building material available from any whole food source. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. The number 1 most powerful protein source for preventing muscle loss after 60. Number 1. Whey protein powder. Out of every food on this list, Whey protein powder has the most scientific evidence supporting its ability to prevent and even reverse age-related muscle loss. Whey is a protein derived from milk during the cheese-making process, and when dried into powder form, it becomes one of the most concentrated and rapidly absorbed protein sources available to humans. A single 30-gram scoop of whey protein delivers approximately 25 grams of protein, which is more than 4 eggs worth, and it can be consumed in seconds by simply mixing it into water, milk, or a smoothie. The study I mentioned at the beginning, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2017, followed 380 older adults aged 60 and above and found that those who supplemented with whey protein twice daily gained an average of 1.3 kilograms of lean muscle mass over just 12 weeks without any structured exercise program. Participants who combined whey protein with light resistance exercises like chair squats and wall push-ups gained even more, averaging 2.1 kilograms of new lean tissue. Those are remarkable numbers for a population typically expected to be losing muscle, not gaining it. What makes whey uniquely powerful is its leucine content. Whey protein contains approximately 11% leucine by weight, which is higher than any other protein source, whether animal or plant. As mentioned earlier, leucine is the amino acid that directly triggers the mTOR pathway to start building new muscle fibers. A 2014 study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that older adults who consumed at least 3 grams of leucine per meal increased their muscle protein synthesis rates by 43% compared to those eating the same total protein but from lower leucine sources. 1 scoop of whey easily delivers over 3 grams of leucine. Whey protein also digests faster than virtually any other protein, reaching your bloodstream within 20 to 30 minutes compared to 3 to 4 hours for whole food proteins. This rapid delivery creates a sharp spike in amino acid levels that is especially important for older adults whose muscle-building response has become blunted with age, a phenomenon scientists call anabolic resistance. The best way to use whey protein is to consume 1 scoop within 30 minutes of waking up because your body has been fasting overnight and your muscles are in a catabolic state, meaning they are actively breaking down. A second scoop taken either after physical activity or as an afternoon snack ensures your muscles receive protein stimulation at least twice during the day. Choose a whey protein isolate rather than concentrate if you are lactose sensitive because isolate has over 90% of the lactose removed. Mix your whey with cold water or milk and a handful of berries for added antioxidants. Avoid mixing it with hot liquids because temperatures above 160 degrees Fahrenheit can denature the protein and reduce its bioavailability. Look for a product with minimal added sugars, ideally under 3 grams per serving, and one that has been third-party tested for quality. Whey protein is affordable, requires no cooking, has virtually no taste when unflavored, and can be added to oatmeal, yogurt, and even soups after they have cooled slightly. For adults over 60, whey protein is the single easiest and most evidence-backed change you can make to protect your muscles, your mobility, and ultimately your independence as you age. So there you have it, 6 powerful seafood, liquid and powder foods that deliver more protein than eggs and are scientifically proven to help you fight muscle loss after 60. You do not need all 6 at once. Start with 1 or 2 that fit your lifestyle and build from there. Your muscles are waiting for the right fuel, and now you know exactly what to give them. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video like this one. Thank you so much for watching.